season 4.
Season 4.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it's been 4 years that we've been doing this.
I know. It's flowing by. And every year kind of ends the same.
Not kind of. Every year does end the same, right?
Yeah. But season 4, man, I can't believe that we've been doing this for this long. And I've never been more excited to start another journey, but never been less excited for the journey that's about to come.
Well, that's kind of where I wanted to start this episode. But before we do that, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been with us along the way for all 4 of these seasons. The reason why we were able to persevere. If I can get a little philosophical on everybody for a second, when you start one of these, it's a journey. And for the first little while, the only people who are watching / downloading is your family and your friends.
Yeah. And
we have a nice little following of people now who reach out to us and were hitting us up on our Instagram asking when are you guys starting the new season? Are you doing it again this year? And that really means a lot. So thank you. Thank you to everyone. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers to you.
Timmy's cheers.
Timmy's cheers to you. Okay. We've got all kinds of things to talk about, like free agent signing and season expectations and all that. But I wanted to just simply start with, how are you feeling? How are you feeling heading in to another season with this core? Do you want me to go first? Or
you go first, because I might need your opinion to formulate my opinion a little bit, because I'm kind of up in the air about it.
I'm still pretty upset. I'm still pretty angry. I'm not going to lie. I have a really hard time getting hyped, and they can do all the stuff they want. Poor Amazon can put out all the all or nothing trailers that they want, and it's not going to have an impact on me. I'm pretty down when it comes to this team. And I want to say this off the top too. As is the case with not only just the Maple Leafs, but I find in the world these days, there's two different sides here. And I see a lot of people on Twitter who are upset at people like me and calling me negative and are you just got to support the guys. You got to support the team. And it's listen, I will always be a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. No matter how many times they rip my heart out of my chest, I will always be a Maple Leaf fan, and I'll always support them. Having said that, wanting to hold the team, the players, the organization accountable for consistent failure, there's nothing wrong with that. And am I gonna go on Mitch Marner's Instagram like a psycho and start calling the guy names? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. And if you're doing that, you're a goof. But am I gonna heap praise and be oh my God, I'm so excited that everyone's back. I'm so excited for another season of Maple Leafs hockey. No, I'm not gonna do that, because it's you guys effing blew it last year in the worst way. So it's I'm not gonna sit here and listen to camp starts this week. I'm not going to sit there and just listen to take a shot, get out your favorite liquor and a shot glass, okay? Pour it up and take a shot. Watch either a Sportsnet or a TSN highlight pack of training camp. Pour a shot and take one every time you hear the words killer instinct this week at camp. It's just put up or shut up, boys, period. And so I always love watching hockey. I love the Maple Leafs, but am I stoked for this season like I've been for previous seasons? No, I am not.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm not that stoked. It was bad, man. It was really bad. And trying to find the excitement looking at the roster with the same core, with losing a guy like Hyman, then adding a bunch of dudes who really don't have much of a resume in the league. I'm gonna try my best to put that playoff failure behind me. That is done. It sucked.
Yep.
It is the reason why we aren't excited for this season. But you know what? It's over, and we're starting season 4 of the podcast.
Yep.
Which means we are gonna watch this season of Maple Leaf hockey. We have no choice.
Yep.
Being a fan of this team is in our blood.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. So for the people you were talking about who are like, oh, well, why are you down? Why are you negative? Their point of view is they still have the same core. They still have Auston Matthews, who's capable of scoring 50 goals a year. They still have Mitch Marner, even though he sucked in the playoffs, is capable of getting 100 points a year. So they're saying that, you know what? They still have a good team. Yeah, they failed. Tavares got hurt. It's another excuse that people use. But there's still a good group of core players who can put up numbers in this league. But the difference between this year and last year is the division is expanding.
Oh, yeah, you're back
so,
you're in the. Would you say that their division is the toughest division in hockey?
Honestly, I've not gone through the rosters of every hockey team, but like in terms of top heavy,
yes.
Like you're looking at the Boston Bruins and Tampa Bay Lightning, like they're gonna make the playoffs.
Yes, and you're looking at the Florida Panthers,
so
who will be there, who will be neck and neck. If I'm gonna like, not to cut you off, but if we're gonna like look into our crystal ball here, I see, as per usual, the Lightning and the Bruins at the top of the division, and the Leafs and the Panthers battling it out for that third spot.
And like the Montreal Canadiens are still a pretty decent hockey team as well. You know?
I'm just purposely not mentioning them to troll the Habs fans who are still commenting on our video. Man, let me tell you something. You guys have earned the most sensitive fan base in the league label. You're still commenting on a video from 4 months ago
about the first round.
Yeah, I know. You went to the cup fight. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
So long story short, I'm not as excited as I have been in the past because we could always come up with positive things about an upcoming season. Due to last year, we're down, but we got to wipe the slate clean. We got to hope that some of the new guys we're going to talk about today that were added to the roster are going to step up and fill in a role for this team to make the playoffs, because it's not about winning a round for me. It's about making the playoffs now.
Yes. Like, because especially being back in your regular division.
Forget winning. Like everyone's like, let's see until they win a round. Well,
yeah,
you're getting a little ahead of yourself. You might need to make the playoffs.
Yep.
So let's start clean. Let's start from scratch, and let's do this thing all over again.
For 82 this year.
Yeah. Last year was 56.
I know. And this year's going to be 82. Oh, man.
What?
We're back to like February games in Arizona, 9 p.m. start.
Yeah, it's like their first like 3 games of the season, they play like San Jose. It's like,
what are we doing?
But we did complain about playing the Canucks 9 times.
It's true. So. You know what? That's a good point. Like, remember, one of my favorite things that you and I joke about is if you go back and look at our old episodes at the beginning of last year, and we're just like, oh my God, the Canadian division. This is amazing. It's like the Vince McMahon meme. And then like halfway through the season, I'm like, if I have to see the Calgary Flames one more time,
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, I'm going to throw up is right.
Especially how they wrapped that division pretty early. But that was a pretty a take that went cold pretty quickly. This is great. And then it's like, this is the shittiest thing I've ever watched in my entire life.
So if my excitement level heading into a new season is like tepid at best, my excitement level for this Amazon All or Nothing documentary is ice. Why do I want to relive this? Like, sure, will there be some interesting like behind the scenes moments? Like, will it be cool to see like kind of like their day to day in terms of how they travel, or like Sheldon Keefe's like pregame, between period, and post game speeches? Sure, that'll be pretty cool. But like, the trailer is the best. It's like Will Arnett, and he's like something about being a Leaf fan is like full of disappointment, and we lost again. It's like, how do you end, like, how that documentary is just going to end with them blowing a 3-1 series lead?
You know what my opinion about that series is?
What?
I'm going to leave all my on ice thoughts separately. I look down this roster of players that I have here, and it's like, I don't think any of these guys are like, like I'm almost scared to see what the dynamic is in the dressing room, because you don't know. So like, what if one of these guys is just a little moke in there, Like, I don't know. I just...
So you're scared to come out of it not being a fan of a certain guy.
You look at like take the Toronto Blue Jays, for example, right now. There's a couple guys on that roster where it's like, hey, Marcus Semien, there's no way Marcus Semien is not the coolest guy.
Yeah. And
around.
just laser focus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you look at this team, it's like, okay, Wayne Simmons is obviously a beauty.
Yeah.
But, and Spezza.
Yeah.
But like, I'm afraid that I'm going to watch William Nylander in this documentary and like kind of hate him more than I already do. Like, you know, that's what I'm worried about. I mean, it will be cool. Anytime you get any behind the scenes stuff in sports is awesome. Yeah. But I mean, we know what happens. It sucks, but I'm just afraid they're going to walk out of here being like, I knew I hated that guy. Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Like, obviously I'm going to watch it and we'll do quick. I think the plan will be like at the beginning of each episode, we'll kind of just do 5 minutes. On
it's good content for us. You know, what if it's like really good?
Yes.
And like we actually like it? Yeah. You know, that's also a possibility.
It's true. We're just going in like pretending like we're gonna hate this thing.
Yeah, exactly. But what if after one episode, it's like, yeah, like they're losers, but you know what? That actually wasn't that bad.
No.
Like Amazon's no joke.
No.
You know, like they probably got some good footage, good content.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about free agent acquisitions because we haven't really done an episode since then to talk about these things. So, two names that I wanted to discuss, and then we can get into the Michael Buntings and the David Camps and that sort of thing. He's the shutdown fourth line center.
Who the hell is that? Who are those guys?
David Camp. I don't know if you
heard of him.
If you listen to Kyle Dubas, Michael Bunting is the savior.
Oh yeah,
he'll tell you right to your face that Michael Bunting is what they've been missing.
All right,
sorry, Kyle. You just love you, but you just put it on a T for us.
Yeah.
Peter Mrazek really liked this. I think we all knew at the end of the season Freddie was leaving, and then we talked about it on our last episode that our opinion was you go the tandem route with Jack Campbell and a guy who can they can literally almost split the load, like probably 60-40, like 60 Campbell, 40 Mrazek. So this was the perfect guy to pick up. They got him on a good contract, $3.8 million cap hit for 3 years.
Yeah.
So what are you clearly, I think based on the way he performed last year, Jack Campbell is your one, even though, like I said, this is going to be a 1-1A situation, I think. So, like, how are you going into the season? Are you going with that ratio, like a 60-40 Campbell, or are you like, what are you doing?
If I was Sheldon Keefe, I would not have a number in my head of a percentage of the playing time. You're going to give Jack Campbell the starting game because Jack Campbell his numbers were off the charts last year, and I thought he was pretty good in the playoffs. Yep. Like, I thought he was pretty good. But Jack Campbell, obviously, has never played a full season as a starting goalie. You know, like Freddie Anderson, he was done here, but the dude was a workhorse. He played basically a full season for, like, 3 straight seasons, like, nonstop goaltending. Yeah. So they go out and get Mrazek, add a little depth, and I think it's just going to be who's playing better. Like, if Jack Campbell goes out and sucks the first 2 games, then Peter Mrazek's going to go in.
Yep.
And if he plays well, then he's going to run with it.
Yep.
And it's nice to have the option. Like, it's not like you have a brutal backup like Garrett Sparks. Like, you know, both these guys are capable of playing NHL goalie, but I think it's going to be who's the hot hand, who's playing well. I don't think there's any plan of how much they want to play one guy against another guy. It's about who's stopping the puck right now, and that's the guy who's going to play.
Yep.
And you have a better option with 2 guys who may not be Andre Vasilevsky level of goalie, but they're both NHL goalies who can get the job done. So whoever's the hot hand, that's who you go with.
I agree. I would say that's perfectly put. Talk to me about the Nick Ritchie signing. I know that you liked this one.
I liked it because obviously he's a big body, right? Like, it's nice to always have a big body and a guy like he had a pretty okay offensive season. I know a lot of Leaf Nation's gonna hate this guy because he's big. He's not that fast, but. Like, I would rather them go out and get a guy who's 6 foot, whatever he is. He's like 235 pounds, who just mashes dudes, like so many hits, than go out and get a little shrimpy boy who's going to play on Tavares' line, who's 5'7", who sucks. You know, like, I like how they at least, like, take a chance on a guy who's big, you know?
But Ryan, the guy, the 5'7" guy's possession numbers are through the roof.
Yeah, you know, and I remember Richie's like around my age. I remember like he was like a big guy in AAA hockey back in the day, and used to go like watch his GTHL team play. So it's kind of cool seeing him like come back full circle now playing for the Leafs. So I know he's a hometown guy, and I just want to see that guy crunch some dudes.
Yeah, I liked it. It's the type of guy who, he's also a guy who can play in the league like right now. Like, not saying that Wayne Simmons can't, but I think we all look at Wayne Simmons as a guy like, he got hurt last year, and when he came back, he was never the same. And he's a guy who he's on the back nine of his career.
Yeah, if Wayne Simmons can stay healthy, he'll be a very impactful player for what he's getting paid and what he needs to do. But you go down with a 6-week wrist injury or whatever he had last year, he's done. He can't come back from that. So anytime you add a little bit of more toughness to please guys like me and you, who I'm down. And you didn't break your back signing this guy,
No, 2.5 million.
Yeah.
How many years is this deal? 2 years. So that's a pretty low risk, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Some of the other names who you and I and we kid here, folks, but like the Michael Buntings, the David.
I had to
Camps.
Google Michael Bunting.
Well, so if you look at Michael Bunting, okay,
who the hell is Michael Bunting?
Michael Bunting played last year in the Arizona organization. They signed him. It's a 2-way deal. It's $950,000. It's pretty low risk. If he plays, if he comes up and he plays and he contributes, he's think of him as like a Pierre Engvall. Like if he comes up and he plays and he contributes, he'll be in the lineup, and if not, they can put him down. They can bury him in the Marlies with no hit against their cap. So
we joke about not knowing who any of these guys are, but they had to go out and take a chance on some dudes. And man, I hope that Michael Bunting goes out and plays out of his mind.
Yeah,
that's what they need.
Yes, and they need the David Camps of the world to come in and be a solid fourth line center option at $1.5 million.
Yeah. So they kind of go out.
This is the way they've constructed their roster.
Yeah, because you have to take chances on dudes who aren't going to break your salary cap because they have no space. So they obviously did their scouting. They found some traits about these dudes that they think could fit in their lineup. And I'm looking at these names. I'm looking at projected lines and where all these guys are going to fit in. And it just hit me that obviously the big boys got to perform. But you got to, like, if these guys don't have like career years, even though some of them don't even have a career yet, but they need to play above their level for this team to do anything in the playoffs, in the regular season. Like if Michael Bunting sucks, and you can't put him in the lineup,
what do you do?
What are you gonna do?
Like you look down, like if you look at like the left wing options right now for the top line, okay, like.
Isn't Bunting slotted in on the top line?
I think he's going to start camp on the top line.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, and then you put, so you have Marner, Matthews, Bunting, you have Tavares, Nylander, and maybe Rielly.
Yeah.
And then you hope that Nick Robertson's a big key to this year as well for a guy who obviously wasn't signed in free agency.
What do you say to people who Nick Robertson's a really interesting case because you could make the argument that he could use another year of seasoning in the American Hockey League, but Kyle Dubas is fighting for his job this year. Like if they flame out this year, he's gone. And same with Shanny. So do you put him in the lineup and say,
yes,
and say he gives us the best chance right now? We're not going to worry about giving him another year marinating.
But like, here's the thing that pisses me off is last year, you can't just pull the guy up to play a couple games and take him out of the lineup.
Yep.
It's like you put him in the lineup and let him work it out. He might suck for a bit, but like you got this guy who has an unbelievable scoring pedigree in junior hockey. Put him in the lineup and see what he could do. Like I like him. I think he's a good scrappy player.
Yeah. So
like. Are you really gonna put some of these other losers ahead of your top prospect? Like, put the guy in the lineup. Same with Rasmus Sandin too. He's another guy. It's just he has no choice. Like you don't have a luxury of talent anymore because you're finally feeling the effects of having your salary cap taken up by top players. So you're going to have to trust that your top prospects you can plug them into the lineup and they can contribute, or else you're not doing anything this year. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. One of the most exciting things about this new season of the Talkin' Buds podcast is once again we are teaming up with the good people from Manscaped. And do you smell that? That's autumn. Autumn is in the air. The pumpkins are in the patch. And our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure that you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. If you know what we're saying.
Pants pumpkins.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those pants pumpkins.
Yeah.
Make sure you're keeping fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. My personal favorites, the Lawnmower 4.0 and the Weed Whacker. I don't know about you, but sometimes you got to get right in there and you got to get those nose hairs out.
The Weed Whacker is the most essential tool
It absolutely
in my
is.
bathroom, because you know how many times I'm rolling down the road looking in that rear view and I just got a couple punkies coming out of my nose.
Yeah.
And then like you try to pull them and then you get all itchy and it hurts and you're like, could have used my Weed Whacker. So the Weed Whacker for me is essential.
Another thing is the I know that we're both huge fans of the performance boxer briefs.
Oh yeah. Phenomenal. Very comfortable. If you want to be comfy, just sitting around doing any sort of exercise or even just relaxing, the briefs are legit.
And I have a surprise for you that you don't even know about. If I go under here, I've got the Manscaped travel bag
Wow.
to hold your goodies. So when you're going away, you're having a nice weekend away with the significant other, you take your stuff, you put it in here. It's got the nice little Manscaped logo on the front of it. Look how classy this is. Like, look at this. This is a gentleman's travel bag.
I like the size of it too. And it looks like for all the products that you will need, everything will fit in that bag.
Oh, that's another thing about the Manscaped tools is they're so compact. Like their efficiency is one of the number one priorities at Manscaped. And when you hold specifically the lawnmower, like with the little LED light that you can get in and really see what you're doing down there, because the last thing you want is to have an accident.
Yeah, when you have the lawnmower in your hand, even just looking at it, feeling it, it just feels legit expensive, like a good piece of technology. You go and get one of those cheap trimmers from the store. They're just crap. They sound weird. This thing is as legit as it gets.
100%. You know how you get this stuff?
Tell me.
You go to manscaped.com. You pick out what you want. You load up your cart. You go to checkout. And in the little insert promo code, you type in the buds and you get 20% off and free shipping.
Free shipping.
Worldwide. 20%. Like, because how many times you order something and by the time they throw the shipping in there, you're like, well, the shipping's just as much as the product I'm buying.
Makes me sick.
But if you use promo code the buds, free shipping. THEBUDS. That is how you get your hands on these top-notch men's grooming products from Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code THEBUDS, 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Check it out. All right. Auston Matthews had wrist surgery. He was on 31 Thoughts and revealed that he might not be ready to go to start the season. Like he said, hopefully be ready for game 1. So the word that stands out there is hopefully. So you could be playing the first little bit of your season without your superstar center.
I mean, he's been injured before. We've seen their lineup without him in it before. And they've won games without him. I don't care about this.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't want to have any sort of surgery on his wrist. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
Had to get it. It is what it is, you know. Like people are like, why didn't he have it closer to the beginning of the off season? It's like because you just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like you're just an idiot who sits on his couch and reads the news. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, so
he clearly tried to work through it.
Yeah.
Decided
someone clearly said that like we don't really want you to have this if you don't need it because of like the recovery time or whatever. You're gonna miss out. And then turns out they didn't really have an option. So that it is what it is. What is he gonna miss? 4 games max.
Yeah.
Like it's not the end of the world.
But what do you think about missing camp? Missing camp is always a concern because if you start like a few steps behind everybody.
He can skate.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's a wrist surgery. It's not like that's going to keep him off his feet.
Yeah.
If as long as he can keep his feet moving during camp, I trust the guy can score without practicing in camp. He's probably the best goal scorer in the goddamn league.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about him getting his shot laser focused. It's as long as he can get on his feet on a pair of skates and get some conditioning in on the ice, that's fine with me. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. If he has to miss a couple games, so be it. He had to get his wrist surgery. It was nagging him. Would you rather have a guy who you know is going to be 100% healthy coming out of this, or do you want him going into the season with a nagging wrist problem? It's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So they had to do what they had to do, and if he's going to miss time, then whatever.
Another thing that I wanted to table with you that's been a big topic of discussion over the offseason is, listen, Kyle Dubas has got a lot of praise, and he also gets a lot of criticism, rightly so, on both sides. Like, you and I were talking, like, before we came on here, we were talking about, like, on the praise side, TJ Brody, great signing. On the criticism side, Auston Matthews for 5 years.
Yeah.
One thing that he did, we just saw play out, that was unacceptable in my opinion, was letting Zach Hyman walk for nothing. And Morgan Rielly is going into the final year of his deal, and he hasn't been extended, and he was not traded over the offseason.
Yeah.
And Kyle Dubas is developing a track record here of letting key players leave for nothing.
Are you talking? Are you going to go back to Bozak and Van Riemsdyk? Because that was Lou.
Yeah, no, I know that.
But when I hear people talk about this, they reference those two guys. And it's like, that was Lou.
Yeah, it was. But okay, fine, that's fair.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's fair. But let's talk about but Hyman specifically. Like, and Morgan Rielly has been, even if he'd never done it before, it's still an unacceptable situation to be in with one of your cornerstone pieces of your franchise. Like, it is. And so it's like, what are we going to do here? Like, what are we going to do? Like, you could have started negotiations this offseason and signed him to an extension and maybe got him in what if he goes out this year and has an unreal year?
Hope so.
And then at the end of the year, he's like, I want 8.5.
Rob, it doesn't matter if he has a good year or a bad year. That's probably what he's going to have to get, no matter what.
So, like, okay.
Like, I think if like 7.5 is like out of the blocks, you know, like, I don't think he's getting anything lower than that.
Yeah.
Like, no way. For this team, he's the number one defenseman on this hockey team.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to do without him? Like, that's what I want to know.
So,
and for Zach Hyman, them letting him walk, they dominated their division last year. Yeah. They should have won that series. They should have gone further in the playoffs. You can't exactly deal Zach Hyman through one of the best regular seasons, even though it was short, that your team has ever had. Like, what were they going to do? Yeah. Like, you know, like, trade away one of your top players for a couple picks just so something that could have happened later. Like, you had no choice with Zach, but with Morgan, it's like, you need Morgan Rielly this year.
Yeah.
You need him. He's your top guy. He's the guy who eats the most minutes on your team. What are you going to do? Trade him halfway through the season? Like,
well, I think you
got to re-sign him.
But I think that depends on where. Oh my God, could you imagine a scenario?
Yeah, if they're awful,
dude, could you imagine a scenario where we're in like December, January, and they're out of it? Like, oh my God,
yeah,
what is going to happen in this city if that
might be a mid-season firing?
Oh my God. So, like, anyways,
could this? Yeah, no. I'll ask you after.
I'm coming from that place of like, he's a cornerstone piece. Like, listen.
Oh, Rob, he is.
I love Zach Hyman.
He's arguably the most important player on the team, other than Matthews, obviously.
I love Zach Hyman. You love Zach Hyman. He was a part of the core. He was like, they're gonna miss him so much. But you look at the deal the Oilers gave him, and you're like, okay,
no.
yeah, and you're like, yeah, and you're like,
they couldn't
okay,
do that.
No,
they couldn't.
So I can. So
it's not worth it.
Yes.
It's not. I love Zach. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
So you look at that, and you're like, okay, I can get my head around why we're not going to give Zach Hyman that money. Morgan Rielly is like, you're screwed if you lose Morgan Rielly.
Yeah.
Screwed. And I know that there's people who are like, well, Sandin will come up and take us. Dude, how long does it take? It takes defensemen a long time to develop in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
So if you think Rasmus Sandin is going to step in next year and take Morgan Rielly's spot, you're crazy.
He's like half the skater that Morgan Rielly is. Like I look at Rasmus Sandin, I see great offensive tools, but I also see a lot of shortcomings. Like we don't have a number one in our hands here. Like I don't like that take that he's going to replace Rielly.
So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be a huge storyline how it plays out. Like, what you watch camp this week, he's going to get, I'm talking Morgan Rielly, he's going to get peppered with questions about, like, what about your contract? What about your contract? Anyways, what were you going to say there?
I said, okay, so everyone is talking about their excitement level going for the season. Everyone's pissed off. They're not excited. They don't want to watch. And then you just mentioned, what if December comes around and they're brutal and, like, they're done and, like, they're talking about replacing people and trading people. Like, do you think like this is the year if they go out and really suck that like some Leaf fans will be like done? Like,
I think so. Yeah,
you talk to a couple old veterans and they're like, yeah, I was done after the 80s or whatever. I just stopped watching. Like, if they go out and suck and it's like they almost have to like go into like a mini retool, like.
If they
after experiencing no success at all, like it's gonna be
listen,
hell on earth.
So listen, here's what I'm thinking. Here's my honest opinion on it. If there's like a catastrophic meltdown in like the only way people are gonna get fired in season is if it's like cataclysmic, like what was happening with Babcock a few years ago, where they remember that Saturday night in Pittsburgh where they went out and it was like, what am I watching? Yeah, and then Babcock got
that was a team quitting
gassed after that. Yeah. So if something like that happens, then I don't think that's going to happen. At the end of the day. Here's the thing. This is like, man, like I don't envy the situation Kyle Dubas is in because your job is, and the same goes, one guy who I still do not think is taking enough heat is Brendan Shanahan. He and Kyle Dubas are hand in hand when it comes to this for me. Both of your jobs are riding on this team winning a playoff round. And as you said earlier, you got to make the playoffs in this division first.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't even make the playoffs, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Because what happened last time they played in this division, the season that got postponed?
They weren't going to make the playoffs.
They weren't, and technically they didn't. They got eliminated in the qualifying round.
Yeah.
Like, we all look at that as like, 5 first-round exits in a row. Actually, it's
a preliminary exit.
Yes.
It's like losing in the wild card game.
Yes. So
baseball.
So anyways, it's going to be so like, man.
I was, while you're speaking there, just one more thought about the team. I'm looking at this roster here. You know what name I look at and I say this guy better play out of his goddamn mind?
Who?
John Tavares.
Oh, yes.
You got a 30-year-old captain who kind of gets by on his like great personality, just kind of a beauty. But I'm looking at $11 million for 4 more years for a guy who's 30, for a guy who I think is completely overpaid for what he does, even though he's a beauty. But I'm looking at like this dude better have a good year, Yeah. Like if this guy goes out and sucks and can't score and he's going 8 games without a goal, like if he plays out of his mind, this team, if he plays like an elite hockey player, they're good. But if he goes out and he's goalless through a couple games throughout the season, they're in trouble. Yeah. Like they're in trouble.
All right. I wanted to have some fun before we wrap up this week, and so I'm going to throw to you here, and I'm going to say we're going to do a quick pivot. For the next 5 minutes, this is Talking Jays.
Okay.
I want you to talk to me about the Toronto Blue Jays, because you're right. Like, we've been one of the great healers of the Leaf collapse has been this Toronto Blue Jays team, and what a joy they are to watch and how exciting they are. And so I just want to take a few minutes here, and I want you to just talk to me about the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, don't look now, but now they're a half game out.
Yeah.
But The Toronto Blue Jays, I feel like with baseball in the city, it's not like hockey. Hockey's ingrained in us, right? Like everything's just Leafs, Leafs, Leafs. It's all NHL, whatever. But the Blue Jays, it's like when the Blue Jays are playing well, everybody in the city for some reason just like comes together and it's just fired up. Because there's nothing better than a good baseball team. And there's nothing shittier than a shit baseball team.
Yep.
So, I mean, they went on a magical run to get back into the wild card, but all it really has done is just gotten them back like into the race. It's like you win all those games, you go 15-2, whatever they did, and you'd think that would get you out to a lead that you could hold on to in the wild card. But like now, because of that, they're gonna have to fight for their life. Like now the race really starts for this team. Like they go out, they lose to Minnesota in the first game, and now they're a half game back. So it's kind of a restart starting now. Like now they have to go on another run just to get in the wild card, you know? But just a joy to watch, you know, like young guys who are actually performing, who are studs, veterans who've come in, who have brought a veteran presence, who have performed. Your $150 million player's been injured half the year, and you're still the top, like one of the best run differentials in the league, one of the top scoring teams, most home runs. The pitching has finally come around for this franchise. And if I had to play kind of say we've been doing talking Jays for the past 4 years. 4 years ago, we would have been talking about everyone thinks Shapiro and Atkins are complete idiots. They're not.
No.
Because look at this team now. They're set up for the next 5 years. You know, so it's a team that, like, making the playoffs in baseball is way more of an accomplishment than in hockey. Like, we expect a first-round victory in the NHL. In baseball, we'll be stoked if we get to a wild card game. But if you look at this roster, you look at the age, they have the best superstar in the league, in my opinion. And they're just a damn exciting team to watch. And I really hope they can get there, but they're still fighting. So
listen, even if they don't, it's been an exciting season and they grinded all the way through. And to your point earlier, they're set up for success for the next 5 years. And sure, there's conversations that are going to need to happen in the offseason with respect to Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien. But at the same time, it's like the pieces are there, and it's not like it's not like we're sitting here saying that like Matthews and Marner and stuff don't perform during the regular season. They totally do. But it's like you just like Vlad Guerrero. Like there is no, if you're gonna look at all of Toronto's sports, okay, and you're gonna say who's the biggest stud out of any of those teams, it's not close. It's Vlad Guerrero Jr.
He's just first of all, it's the name. Like just being the junior of one of the coolest baseball players of all time, and Vlad Sr. I love Vlad Sr. Like he's right up there for one of my favorite players all time. But like just the like legend of him coming up through the minors, hitting 400 one season, coming in, kind of like sucking. Like came in 2019, didn't play a full season, but like kind of sucked. And then 2020, like kind of sucked. And then coming into this season, people were asking if he could be trusted at first base. Is he a power guy or is he an average guy? And it's unreal to think about that conversation, because now he's both. Now he's hitting 318. He's got 46 bing bongs. Like the guy is unbelievable. Like if you go through like all the OPS, on base, blah 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 blah, all through, he's first in everything. What a season. And just it's the name, he's just oozing charisma. He is. You haven't gotten a chance to like hate him yet. You know, like it's just he is like the definition of a superstar. Like it's been fun. And even like Bo, that guy could I don't love him at shortstop, but that guy can flat out hit. You know, there's your added other franchise piece who's
such him and Vladdy are such a great contrast together. They're both like such cool looking dudes.
And then
awesome.
you got like Teoscar, you know, like they're just a likable baseball team, you know. So I really hope they can get there, but you're going up against the two most like powerful franchises and like almost like all of sports.
But here's what I'll tell you: if they don't get there, I don't think people are going to be looking at the season as a failure. And you know why? because you look at and not to make, we just had a really positive conversation about the Blue Jays, so I don't want to turn this and make this a negative thing, but like you look at what is the biggest criticism that Mitch Marner that was lobbied at Mitch Marner in that Habs series. Where the hell were you?
Yeah.
If the Blue Jays don't make the playoffs, I don't think people will be upset because this team leaves it on the field every single day. And there's no way you can question that. And their superstars show up when they need them to show up.
Yeah.
And that is, you can sit here and say, listen, I said it off the top of the episode. I think if you're somebody who's going to personally attack Mitch Marner, if you see him in public or comment on his Instagram, I think you're a friggin' goof and you need help. But criticism of where the hell were you is absolutely warranted.
Yeah.
And he's got to spend this year. It's on you, dude. It's on you this year to go out and show us like, yeah, you know what? I didn't have a great series against the Montreal Canadiens, but I'm back this year and I'm in a new headspace and I'm going to take this league over and be the player that everyone knows I can be.
He can take this league over.
Yes.
Like that's how freaking talented this kid is.
Yes.
Like he's probably gonna be on the top line of like Team Canada.
Yes. Yes.
Like, the dude is like could take over the league, no problem. It's just what you said. You gotta show up when it matters.
Yep.
So
that's going to do it for episode 1 of season 4. Thanks everybody for checking us out. If you like what you see, head to our Instagram at Talkin' Buds Podcast. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button below. And if you're listening to the audio on Spotify or iTunes, hit that subscribe button and leave a little review at the bottom. Ryan and I are huge fans of when you leave a review. It's freaking awesome. We will catch you guys next week.